Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing all right today, as always. So I just thought I'd jump on with another transfer video. There's a little bit of an update with regards to our search for a striker, and some other little bits that I'd just like to get into as well. But just before I do, smash that like button, please subscribe, share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So, firstly, just off the bat, very briefly, it was a sad day today as Rafinha was officially announced and unveiled as a Barcelona player. I must admit, he looked really, really happy. And for everything that he's done for us, he deserves to be happy. He deserves to have a great career and play in Europe, which he obviously will with Barcelona. Um, I'd be reading that contract through a second time if I was him, just regarding his wages. But might sound blunt, but that's not our problem now. As long as we get that fee up front plus the add-ons, then that's all we can ask for. He did put quite a nice message on his Instagram to the Leeds United fans, which I thought was a touch of class, which was really nice of him. But I wish him all the best. Best player that I've ever seen in a Leeds shirt live in my lifetime. It'll take a lot to beat him. Obviously, there was Pablo Hernandez, but I think they're two completely different players. I think Rafinha, compared to the rest of the players in our squad, he was on a different planet. So yeah, he thoroughly deserves his move, and I wish him all the best. So moving on then, incomings. Have we found a new striker? Potentially so. Apparently, according to various outlets in France, plus Graham Bailey, who is a very good source in the UK. Apparently, Leeds United are in advanced talks and are close to agreeing a £21 million deal for PSG striker Arnau Kalimuendo. Obviously, I've spoken about him on Bite Size Leeds and on other transfer uploads as well. Does seem like a really good player. He spent the last 2 seasons out on loan at Lens, or is it Lons, however you pronounce them. Really good numbers, and is a good up and coming young talent. 20 to 21 years of age. I think, look, some people might say it's a lot given his age and that he hasn't, that we haven't really heard of him. But let's be honest, no one had heard of Rafinha when we signed him from Rennes. This kid has got real good potential. As I said, his stats at ones are quite good, really good actually. And obviously CDK is just not happening now. I think people who think that's still happening need to give their head a wobble. That could come back to bite me on the backside. We could end up getting him. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I just can't see it. Like, we've offered him the highest wage, we've offered him a higher fee. Milan is saying that they will not meet Leeds United's fee, but yet he still wants to go to them. So I think Leeds United are just being careful and being smart and just realizing that, look, CDK does not want to come. We're moving on. I think Kalimuendo was always the second choice in that sort of list of strikers that Leeds wanted to go for, and I think it would be an amazing signing. I think whether it, obviously, let's be honest, Patrick Bamford will have an injury at some point this season, even if it's just for a few games, he will. So knowing that we've got Kalimuendo to either be a backup or to play instead of Bamford against certain opponents, and I still think that the progression of Joe Gellart won't be affected, even if we sign Kalimuendo. I think Gellart will still get minutes. Obviously, there'll be games where Leeds play with 2 up top, where Marsh might implement a 4-2-2. So him and Bamford could probably play together. And even if it's a 4-2-3-1, as I said, if Bamford's injured, even if he's, I don't know, suspended, you never know what can happen. Kalimuendo, I think, is a very good option to have as a secondary striker. The movement on this, as I said, apparently Leeds are in advanced talks. Apparently personal terms won't be an issue. So you'd probably expect over the next few days or week at the absolute most that hopefully we can pull this off. Fabrizio Romano has not shared this, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. There's a lot of very good sources in France, and as I said, Graham Bailey from the UK has reported it as well. And so it's coming from very credible sources. So I fully expect Leeds United to pull this one off quite soon. And then it just leaves obviously the left back and the experienced goalkeeper. Do I think we'll get an experienced goalkeeper? No, I don't think we will. If the board are looking at it, I think left back is more important at this minute in time. We could get a backup keeper in January, maybe, who knows? But I think for this window, once we sign Kalimuendo or a striker of some sort, a left back is needed. 100%, definitely needed. Firpo's made of biscuits. Firpo is a walking yellow card, so he's always going to be suspended. And he's probably, look, I hope he improves. I think he's got the capability to improve. Can I see it happening? No, I'll be honest. I think, look, I watched him against Blackpool live and he was even getting skinned by their players. So I just can't see him improving. So I think we definitely need to strengthen in that area. Charlie Taylor, I'm going to say it on nearly every video. Charlie Taylor is there and ready to be bought. Go out and make it happen, Victor, please. He would be willing to come back. He would. 100%. If you believe anything that happened under Gary Monk, come on. Come on. Give your head a wobble. But yeah, moving on. Juan Mata, spoke about him the other day. Reason why I'm touching upon this again is that I've seen other Leeds content creators speaking about it, and I've seen a lot of them say that they would like it, which, yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I wouldn't be mad about it. It'd be a good option to have, and he could probably do that role better than Rodrigo at the minute. But if we're going to keep Rodrigo, which Marsh seems like he does want to keep Rodrigo, then we don't really need Juan Mata, even if it was just on a 1 or 2 year deal. I personally don't think we need him. If Rodrigo was to go, because that team in Turkey have been linked with him, which, whether you agree with it or not, do we care enough about Rodrigo for him to go to them? Maybe not, but I can fully understand why certain sections of the fan base would not like to deal with Galatasaray. But if a club comes in for Rodrigo, who are we to say no to it? So it's kind of, it's a grey area in it. But either way, I personally don't think we need Juan Mata. It was on 160k a week at Man United. Apparently, he would be willing to take a pay cut, but by how much? I just don't think it's a player that we need on our books, personally. But if we signed him, of course, I would get behind it and it would be exciting, but I just don't think we actually need him, if I'm being honest. And finally, I'm going to touch upon Nicolas Pepe from Arsenal. Apparently, Leeds United are interested in him to replace Rafinha. Now, that was the headline that I saw, that he was going to replace Rafinha. Sinistera was brought in to replace Rafinha. So I think we're pretty stacked out on the wing. Sinistera, Dan James, Jack Harrison, Somerville, Aronson can maybe float out wide as well if needed. Personally, it's a weird one. Again, like I just said with Juan Mata, if we signed him, yeah, it would be a great option. I think he's played at a fairly decent level. Not quite worked out for him at Arsenal. They signed him for £72 million. And let's just say that it hasn't worked out. Let's just put it that way. Would I take him? Of course I would. It would, like I said, it would be a good option. Whether we think he would start over our wingers is a different question. I don't think Marsh would pick him over a Dan James or a Jack Harrison. And I'm not saying that they are better players than Pepe. I'm just saying what Marsh would do. I don't think Marsh would pick Pepe over them if we had to sign him. Apparently the fee would be fairly reasonable as well. I don't know the exact amount, but it isn't quite the 70 odd million that Arsenal paid. But I just don't want us to go after like rejects and like players from big clubs who just aren't getting a game, because I don't feel like the motivation would be there, if people quite understand what I mean. But then you could look at it on the flip side of that and say, he'd want a fresh start and he'd want to prove himself. So there's a lot of ways to look at it. I don't know if I'd be fully on board with it, but at the same time, it would be a good option. So I'm kind of 50-50 with Juan Mata and Nicolas Pepe, if I'm being honest. They're both two deals that I don't see happening, which is why I'm kind of not giving them too much thought at the minute. I think Kalimuendo is a signing that will happen quite soon, if I'm being honest. A left back's needed. An experienced goalkeeper is, and it'd be a perfect window. I don't think that'll happen though. But I just thought I'd jump on and just give this brief little transfer update this evening. I've got a very interesting video lined up for tomorrow night, people. I'll be uploading it at about 7-8 o'clock. I won't give too much away, but it does include some other Leeds United content creators. So just make sure that you tune in for that. I have shared on my socials quite recently as well that I am planning to start a podcast on the channel, which hopefully the first episode of that will be out at some point next week. It's with a good friend of mine who I actually sit next to in the South Stand. So that'll be quite good. I feel like I know his opinions on a fair few things, so I think it'll be interesting. So lots of good stuff coming on the Chatting Leeds channel over the next few weeks, people, as we head into the new season. So make sure that you keep it locked, hit that notification bell so that you're always aware of when I'm uploading. Smash a like on this video, please subscribe if you're brand new, share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.